the living God. So what am I really doing? I'm just playing good Christian. And if you guys have done that, or if you're doing that, you know that it sucks. It sucks everything out of you, and you're not living at all. So God heard my prayer, and it's about a year ago now, the summer of my sophomore year in college, you know how God lets us go through the fire sometimes to purify us. He allowed that to happen to us. And my dad almost died from a staph infection. He was in the hospital for over 2 months, sedated, and just, we were all waiting for him to die. But the cool thing is that in this time, I wanted to die also, because physically it was the worst experience I think I've ever had. Emotionally, spiritually, worse. But what I didn't know was what God was doing on the inside of me and on the inside of my family. And in this time, I saw miracles. I saw the living God work in my life. I saw things that I never thought were possible. The doctors, men, everyone said, he will die, he will die, he will die, he will die. And God said, he will live. I have healed him. I have spoken. He will live. The doctor said he will not make it. They laughed, you know, when they saw that he was healed. My dad is alive. He's walking today. He's a living testimony to the healing powers of God. Jehovah Rapha. He is the healer. I didn't know that this was possible. God stirred my spirit up in this time. He stirred me up. He said, Vanessa, you thought I was boring. You thought you knew everything there was to know to God. You knew the verses, the Bible verses that are always quoted in, you know, church every Sunday, that are on everyone's t-shirts and stuff. You do not know the living God. You do not know who I am. Let me show you who I am. He shook me up. I came back to school. This is last year. I was hungry. I was so hungry. I had experienced God. God. I don't know if you guys know the God I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a God who is way aloof in the air that, you know, you can't even know or talk to, and he's just looking at you waiting for you to mess up. I'm talking about God. He is creator of this universe. Creator of you. He created you. I'm talking about God in the throne room where the four weird creatures with all the eyes and the wings and the elders constantly say, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. Holy. Do you know what God I'm talking about? Like, I didn't know this God, but I wanted to know this God. And I told God, I want to know you in this way. I don't know if you guys know in the Bible, God says, if you seek me, you will find me. I started seeking hard. I needed God because the world wasn't enough anymore. Christianity, the way I knew it, watered down Christianity was not enough anymore. I didn't want religion. I didn't want youth groups anymore. I wanted God. I wanted the living man, Jesus Christ. He stirred me up. Paul in Ephesians says, he was praying for us and he said that you, and I know everyone knows this, but listen to it real good. He says that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all the saints what is the width and the length and the depth and the height, to know the love of Christ, which passes knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. I'm talking about the God who's on that throne with Jesus at his right hand, that we would be filled with all that God is. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know God that way. I wanted to know God that way. And I started seeking and seeking. And I'm not going to say that I have found him fully, because you can never fully know God while you're here. He is huge. He is awesome. But I can say that God has encountered me. I have encountered God in ways that I never knew were possible. Do you guys want God this way? I feel like tonight is a night of knowing the love of Jesus. Like, let's focus on Jesus. Forget the people next to you. Forget everything. Forget what you're worried about, school, whatever. Tonight is a night for him. He is the one thing. Psalm 27:4 says, one thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord, in the house of to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his presence. This is the God I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a little God. This is God. We don't know him yet. I don't know him yet like I want to know him. If anyone ever says, oh, I know Jesus now, I know God. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because he cannot be fully known, but there is no limit. There is no limit. There is no limit to how much you can know God. Tonight is the night to begin that journey. Do not be complacent. That's my thing tonight. Because I was complacent and it was killing me. And I had to play good Christian and I hated it. I don't want that. I want living God or I don't want it at all. Let's know him tonight.